Today we are making a chocolate Oreo cake for Kyle's brother's birthday. He loves Oreos, and we've done pretty much every dessert with Oreos except for a chocolate Oreo cake. We've done cheesecake, we've done Oreo ice cream cake, but we've never done an Oreo cake. So we're going to show you how to make a chocolate Oreo cake and show you how to ice it and everything like that. So to start, you need 3 9-inch pans. We have one pan that's different, but it's still 9 inches, so it doesn't matter as long as they're all 9 inches. Greased with cooking spray. And then for dry ingredients, we have 2 cups of flour, 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. For the wet ingredients, we have a cup of boiling water, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, 2 large eggs, a cup of vegetable oil, and 1 cup of homemade buttermilk. To make your own buttermilk, you take a cup of 2% milk and mix it with a tablespoon of vinegar, stir it, and let it sit for 15 minutes. And then you have homemade buttermilk. You need 1 bowl, and then I like to use a whisk and a spatula. Okay, you're gonna start by adding all the dry ingredients into the bowl. There's no specific order, just put all the dry ingredients in the bowl. And you're just gonna whisk it together until it's really well combined. It's Kyle's turn for adding the wet ingredients. So he's gonna take the some of the wet, the buttermilk. Then he's gonna add the vegetable oil and the eggs. You're so good, but you need an apron.
Well, I would, but I don't have a fancy one like yours. And the eggs.
And the eggs, yep. And then you're gonna mix that in really well.
What about the vanilla?
Not yet.
Okay, just with the spoon?
Yep. You're getting too far ahead of yourself. Yep, and mix it all together. We're using a wooden spoon to mix it all in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, once it's all combined, it should start looking like that.
Look at that chocolatey goodness. You give me the hard work. This is like the manual labor stuff.
You wanted to do it.
Oh, this looks good though, chocolatey.
You're a pretty handsome baker there. Okay, now you're gonna take the vanilla and put it into the hot water.
Into the hot water?
You got it.
Okay.
And stir it with that spoon there.
Oh my god, this is like a science experiment.
Perfect. Now pour it into the batter. And then wooden spoon again and mix it all up.
And here I always thought wooden spoons were just for spankings.
Oh no, I just realized I forgot to tell you to preheat your oven to 300 degrees. Now this is what the batter looks like once it's mixed up. It's a little bit runny, but it'll thicken as it bakes. Now we're just gonna pour the batter, judged by your eye, an even amount in each pan. I just do a little at first in each pan, and then I go back and even it up.
Okay, so now you want to get your cake batter in the oven at 300 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes until you can check it with a toothpick and the toothpick comes out clean.
Yep. And we're gonna put 2 cake pans on the top shelf, 1 on the bottom, and halfway through about 12 minutes, 15 minutes, we're gonna alternate the pans, so we'll switch them. We'll put the 2 on the top, on the bottom, and vice versa.
How can you go wrong with these ingredients? Oreos, buttercream icing, and chocolate cake. Oh yeah.
Okay, so right now we're just gonna pulverize the Oreos to go into our buttercream to make the Oreo part of the Oreo cake. I'm just gonna pulverize about a package of Oreos in our food processor. Okay, when you're done pulsing, it should look like that. There'll probably be a couple chunks in there, but it'll be perfect to add into our buttercream. And I'll show you next how we make our buttercream. Okay, our cakes are done. When your cake is done, your toothpick goes in and comes out clean. Halfway through, we just switched the pan on the bottom up to the top and the top pans to the bottom just so they would cook through evenly. Now that our cakes are all ready, they are just cooling on cooling racks, and then later we'll shave them. We'll show you how we shave them to get them to be all even. Right now we're going to make the Oreo buttercream. This buttercream, I adapted the recipe from Wilton's buttercream recipe, but it's basically one that I adapted over the years to suit my needs and my taste. So I'm going to make 2 batches of this. I find making double batches of buttercream icing, because the icing is so thick, it really is hard on your motor in your mixer. So I'm going to make 1 batch at a time, and we'll need 2 batches of icing for this particular recipe because we have a lot of layers to fill in. So start with 1 cup of softened salted butter, and you're just going to put it in your mixer. Make sure that you have a paddle attachment, and then you're just going to put it on, start it on low, and then move it up to high and let it get really fluffy. Beat it for about 2 minutes. Okay, so now your butter should look like that. Should look really soft and fluffy. And again, it takes about 2 minutes on high to get it that way. Now, this is 4 cups of icing sugar. You're gonna mix it in 2 cups at a time. So I just pour about half into the bowl. And then go about low to medium speed to start, just so your sugar doesn't fly everywhere, and blend that in really well. Okay, you will have to scrape the bowl, the sides of the bowl in between mixing. Make sure that your 2 cups is fully combined, and this is what it will look like before you add the rest of your icing sugar in. So now I'm just gonna add the other 2 cups in, and I'm going to, again, scrape the sides of the bowl while doing medium to low, gradually going from low to medium. Okay, now that your icing sugar is completely mixed, it should start looking a little dry and a little bit lumpy. You're gonna add in a heaping teaspoon of vanilla, and you're also gonna add in 1 tablespoon of milk. This is 2 tablespoons. I'm just gonna add 1 tablespoon in and blend that up on medium. Now the buttercream is starting to come together, and you're just gonna add in the last tablespoon of vanilla and beat that all together, again scraping the sides of the bowl. Okay, now you have vanilla buttercream. It looks so yummy and tasty, but we're gonna make it even better by making it Oreo buttercream.
How do you make anything better? Add Oreos.
Add Oreos. So this is the whole bag of Oreos that we pulverized earlier. We're just gonna add half to this batch, and then when I make a second batch, the rest will go in that batch. So you just add half of it in, and then just stir them in with your stir setting. Okay, this is what the final product looks like. This is your Oreo buttercream. I'm gonna make another batch now, and then we'll meet you back here to show you how to shave the cakes.
Who needs the cake? I could just dig into that with a spoon and just eat the ice.
Yeah, it looks really good. Okay, now it's time to shave the layers. I'm gonna show you how to do one. First I take, this is like a fillet knife. I like using this one. First, I'm just gonna take off the main sort of puffy part, and I'm just gonna eye it and just go right across really carefully, because this is a moist cake and it will rip. You just gotta go really slowly and just go with the cake. And then I just sort of pull it off. I save the big pieces for my father-in-law because he likes to test it out. And then just sort of go and take little pieces as you go until you're happy with how the cake is. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how level it is now. I'm just gonna go and use my knife to gently shave some of these dry sides off. And again, the cake is really moist, so you have to go very careful and just go very, very slowly and shave off what you like until it's as even as you feel that you like it. Okay, once you've done all the shaving, you're gonna have like little cake crumbs like that. I just take a silicone pastry brush and just brush that all the way to clean off the sides. Okay, now I'm just adding some buttercream to the top layer. This is gonna be the filling for the first layer. Sometimes buttercream does firm up over time when you leave it at room temperature. So if you find it's a little too thick to spread, just put it back in your mixer and add a tablespoon of milk at a time until it gets to the consistency that you would like. And now this one is ready and spreadable. I just start by putting it in the middle and slowly pushing it out towards the edges. Okay, now that I've done the filling for the first layer, I put the second layer on top, and I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put a big mound of icing in the middle and slowly smooth it out towards the edges. Okay, so now I'm just icing the sides and top of the cake. What I do is I take a big amount of icing and then I put it at the bottom, and I use my special cake icing thingy that goes around, and I just move it around as I ice, and I keep taking icing and applying it to the bottom and moving it all the way up the sides until I get a smooth finish. Okay, this is what it looks like once it's been iced completely. What'll happen as you ice up the sides, icing will start coming up at the top, and then you just take your spatula and you just pull in towards you, just like that, so that all the sides are even. And then you just pull that icing over the top just to smooth it out until you get a nice smooth finish. Now for making the edges the size a little bit fancy, I use one of these sort of cake decorating triangles. You just take it, choose the side that you want. I like to go with this sort of jagged edge. Put it onto the side of your cake, just put it in gently, and then pull it slowly all the way around till you got those little lines. Now your icing will build up, so you just wipe as you go and then start where you left off and keep pulling. Okay, so I just took a Wilton 32 tip and put it in some icing in the piping bag, and I just piped these little circles, just little mounds of icing, just so that I could stick some Oreo cookies in them. And I piped 6 around the sides and then 1 in the middle, and I'm just kind of wedging the cookies in just to make a little design. And I'm going to put 1 in the middle, and then I'm going to take my remaining icing and my tip, and I'm just going to pipe around the bottom of the cake. Okay guys, this is not the end of the video, but this is what the cake looks like. This is the finished product. And we're gonna do a taste test for you on Kyle's brother's birthday.
So we'll see you then.
See you then.
You're gonna eat that whole thing?
Yes.
How's the cake, Jake?
Well, taste her out.
Get some of that filling into you. You like it? Good?
Very good.